Oh, fuck. My jingly bits. Oh, go away. There we go. Hi. What's up, Emrian? How's it going? Ignore the hand. Hold on. Fuck. Hands is not working well, but... Hi, Emrian. Hi, Agora. I hope you're both having a lovely day today. Yeah, what's wrong with this? Nothing wrong with that. There's the few pieces of art, by the way, that I have gotten and or received since I existed, I guess, for lack of a term. Now, I have received permission in order to post these, but I have put in a request for most of them to change the actual size of the watermarks to try and make them, you know, a lot bigger than their current very small size. Well, at least I call it small, but I want that stuff that whenever someone's like looking and they see like, oh, you know, who did this? It's like, it's right there. You know, it's very much just like very visible. I mean, I could have made the one where I am in the way dress like a little larger in the corner, but look, I asked the artist, that was their decision, and you know, I'm not going to fight them on that much. I would want to, but be safe going home, and please, for the love of God, obey the traffic rules. Yeah, no chatting and driving. Bad. So maybe I currently got hair in my mouth. I think that's a little bit better like this. Maybe. I'm not sure. The hand tracking is still a little wonky at times. Let me see a little bit better though. I think. Because it also doesn't immediately snap track the hands. Which, you know. But then whenever I have it up, it tracks it perfectly fine. So, there. But, flip buttons here. I hope y'all doing well today. I've currently got a big mug of tea to work with, so I can be hopefully getting a sore throat. Well, the downside is that the tracker itself, whenever I minimize it, I think it doesn't really track. So I'm not too sure on that. But whenever I have it brought up and everything, and I have it like, you know, front and center, it's working fine. Because the only thing that's between me and the camera is the microphone, but this is like the microphone's like right here that you can see with my left hand bugging out, and it's not like in the center of my face. It's where like the hands are like out in front of it normally. But I feel like the angle that the camera has versus what the actual tracker picks up is not always 100%. I mean, yeah, like I don't need mouth tracking or eye tracking or anything like that. Really, I just need the angle of like the head to look, well, appropriate. And past that, I mean, the next step is just getting full body tracking. And then I can throw it back. Anyway, hi, good morning. For those of you who are in the morning. I don't really have too much to really talk about today. That's partly on me for kind of just having it be a thing. I should probably have my hands more up like this. But the few things I do want to talk about, at least in retrospect, and a few things that I'm going to be going forward with this, and by this I mean like the slideshow, that's the word. looking back at this past week, specifically, we're gonna talk about that first. Using the model and everything, and seeing myself, and well, being me. It's been really like it doesn't feel real because for so long it's been a PNG and everything. I probably will eventually get used to it, but I also probably won't. But that's harder to say because much like anyone else, whenever you first get your real model, it's like, oh my god, I'm real. But in my case, it's like since I went straight into 3D, y'all can like see me as I'm like just acting. Like I surprisingly I am very active, I guess, for lack of a term, in regards to whenever I'm moving around and doing stuff. So like having the ability to be like, hi, hello, how's it going? You doing well? You count to 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this type of stuff is like this is all stuff I would do normally, and then getting it to like show up on stream and everything. It's it's cool. Also, for some reason, it is trying to track my hand, but my hands are at the bottom of the frame. So I have to lift my hands a little bit higher than normal, which is kind of like sore on the arms over time. Because like I have to hold them up at a specific angle in a specific way, which like puts a lot of weird strain on the elbows. I don't know why, but they do. I feel like if I want like proper hand tracking, I'm gonna have to look into like, what is it called? The Ultra Leap now? Trust me, the camera's already angled much more down than I thought it would be. Like, I can it down. This is not. I thought they would rebrand it to be Ultra Leap. That's not good. The downside is now is if I have my hand up scratching my head, you don't see that. And but now you have the hands a little bit more down, and like if I'm actually scratching my head, the hands up here, which you don't see, but you see my hands a little bit more relaxed. So again, I need like proper hand tracking and everything. So I feel like the hand tracking is not perfect at a lower angle. I guess maybe I should probably put the camera down, have it down, because like the reality is that it's treating my hands as if they're way up here in front of my face when they're not. Like they're down here at like my chest, which is why I had the camera pointed up where it was, because at least then like it is a very mental action of where I have to put the hands at least. So I'm gonna like readjust that. It's not gonna be perfect, but hey, it's probably gonna end up being like really fucked. That's about it. But realistically, if I want to get better hand tracking and everything, I'm gonna have to invest in proper hand tracking and the stuff, not just relying on like a webcam. Sorry, I'm currently drinking tea. Buttercora, how was your trip seeing Hex? Tell me about it. Spill the tea. Did you bully Hex enough? Or did you let her be in peace? Oh, I forgot. Chat's over here now. Go on. Tell me. Better fucking tell me. Or else this is gonna get you. No, that's not fun. Well, I did ask. You watched a lot of the IT crowd, or IT crowd. I do remember seeing that in her Discord. And I do also remember you tuckering the fuck out of her by walking 8 miles, yeah. Oh, for once I can actually have my Discord open. I forgot about that. I normally close it whenever I'm playing games too. I mean, you're... Like, to my knowledge, you may not be fit yourself, but from, like, the shit you do, it sounds like you're pretty healthy, at least. I think. Again, I'm not a judge. Don't like... Or not a judge. I'm not a fitness expert, so don't ask me about that. Yeah. But as long as you had fun, and like that's all that matters, really, I guess. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, or I think I did, but also I just kind of like didn't fully commit it to memory. I think that's mostly just a case that, you know, these are type of facts that I don't. You know, I won't commit to memory because I feel like that's a little too weird to commit. Hands spoken now. Because, like, how do I explain it? There are certain facts of things that I feel like you don't really want to talk about or really mention when it comes to like certain things like that. So I tend to not really remember them. Hope it's not offensive that I choose to not remember that type of stuff. It's just like I'm not gonna really talk to you about that unless it's like really bad health or something. Yeah, I mean it's you know, a lot of people have to do it, so it's kind of just a thing that, you know, if it's particularly bad for whatever reason, then sure I'll ask you about it, but I probably won't. But going on to the next thing, at least so before I forget. Well, revisiting and finishing off the last point, which was talking about the week in hindsight and having the model up for everything. Ever since getting it, I felt like I'm a real person, and I'm not just like a poser, for lack of a term. I know, like VTubers are just as much as a VTuber as anyone else, but I don't know. It feels like a lot more people will probably vindicate me and actually say like, "Oh yeah, you're real." No, since I have it, whereas before, I don't know. I saw like a lot of people just kind of ignore VTubers and everything else, which is why I didn't really reach out to anyone in the first place. But not that I have like a proper model, at least something to show that I'm here. I feel like people will end up taking me a little bit more serious. Though I'm still knight, so who knows? Sorry about that. And moving on to the next thing, at least. The slideshow stuff. I'm going to be trying to get more things to at least go through it, because these are from, you know, people who I have in the past either asked directly or have done things for me. But I want to have their like watermark very proudly on it. Like Swippy's here, and well, Nallen's in his case, he was having a day. So as long as I got his permission and everything, I kind of put his in big golden writing. But everyone else here, like Michio, Spoopy, and Kamau, I want their watermarks to be a little bit larger. Though I already asked Kamau to do that, and that was the biggest they did. So I'm not gonna really like fight them on that. I ideally would have wanted it like a lot more prominent and more visible at a glance. Sorry, I just realized my left hand's like hanging onto my shirt, and because of that, it's kind of like making me look like I'm constantly thinking. Even though like the reality is my hand's actually not even like here. But as time goes on, I'll probably end up having like things that I've asked for or done or anything, and like I will have, there's like I think 2 more I think that I have to reach out to. One is No, another one's Moira. Well, No, I don't know where he is. He's just around in the background. And I don't know if he has a watermark, but this conversation will end up being me like have a watermark. But past that, I mean the slide's just gonna be like pieces of art that I specifically want to show off, and I want people to know who did it. So because I'll be honest, there's only so much that you can stim with on a stream, and it's just me. I don't know, I feel like I don't really have all that much immediate interesting Clancy stuff, except for like just the way I sound and the way I act whenever I'm on camera. But after that, I'm also going to be working on the idea of this change up on the schedule. Last week I didn't do it, as I think I mentioned before, that the schedule change would be a little bit more awkward to like implement, especially like it was like the first week of actually having the model and everything. But I'm going to have long days and short days. And the long days are the days where I'll be streaming for at least a minimum of like, give or take 4 hours before I probably end up being like kind of tired and dipping out. And the long days will be where I'll be playing games that are like RimWorld, for example. My hands are there. I don't know why I keep doing that. Yeah, it's because the tracker is currently down. Or just bring it up at least. I'm still kind of doing it. Oh well. But yeah, long days will be days where the fact you just saw me scratch the back of my head with my left hand, and I've scratched my back of my head multiple times with my right hand. Oh, it's sidetracking it. What the fuck? That's weird. Long days are gonna be games for like RimWorld and like, while shorter days will be games for like Tainted Grail, challenge runs, or maybe Dark Souls or something else. Games that are much faster versus other games that are a lot slower and longer and more like, well, I'm probably gonna be just sitting there talking most of the time anyway. Plus it's also to kind of just let me play other games and not have like a 40-part playthrough of just one game going all at once, which isn't the worst. But I know how Twitch is like. People like having their ADHD days where they just have things switched from thing. I said that all but butchered, but people like having their stuff being constantly swapped out rather than just have a full commit playthrough. So I'm gonna try and like fit into that and try. I probably won't. Good evening, Witch. Yeah, wave. There we go. I'm currently just doing the equivalent of a just chatting stream. Not actually playing any RimWorld today, albeit you hear the music in the background. So if there's anything you want to ever just talk about, Monday's the day. Right now I'm just kind of looking back at the week as, since, what day was it? The 1st? It was the 1st. Going back in the 1st, whenever I first debuted this mod and everything, I'm just looking back on things and just being like, I'm real. You're messing with a new browser option. What's the option? What is your option, Agora? Oh, my hands do not track well whenever I'm doing this. Hold on. Okay, the hands are not really perfect. Zen. I've never heard of that before, I'll be honest. Well, which, as long as you're having a nice day, that's all that matters. Sleepy or not. I mean, why are you trying? Is it a case of just you're just trying it out, or is it just a looking for future options? Since it seems like the browser market's kind of getting really bad as of recent. General curiosity. Fair enough. I'm currently like, oh wow, my arm bugged it there. I'm kind of like semi looking for another browser option because eventually Mozilla Firefox is going to go to the shit too. Especially since they added in the AI tools. However, I think it was a while ago actually now. Not too sure. But certainly something to be aware of. I also have Opera GX as a side browser, but it's also a Chromium browser, so it still has the same issues that I don't like. So kind of not really much of a solution, admittedly. Has anyone seen any? Well, I'm guessing most of y'all have actually seen the Summers Games Fest and the Xbox Live Direct and the PlayStation 1, and there's apparently a Nintendo 1 in 2 days? Is it 2 days or is it 3? I don't... It's in some date. No, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to probably be streaming and I'm not going to be really too fussed about it. Oh, you haven't been watching anything? Honestly, fair. I think the only things that I've really been aware of is that there's a new Gundam game. There's a Monster Hunter Wilds DLC, but I don't have Wilds, so... there was some new information about Fable, the new one. There was a trailer for Persona 6, which is just them showing off a bunch of gravestones, which it was just very grave. That's all I'm gonna say. And I think that's honestly it. Well, there was a night game and Hot Wheels as well. No, honestly, fair for not keeping track of that stuff. Most of the time, it just feels like there's a whole lot of like hype over nothing. And you know, most of the stuff is like 2027. There's nothing that's coming out like this year. Because if I remember right, last year when they announced most of the stuff for 2086, they came out, and there was no real hype about them. At least me personally. Like I don't remember anything that was announced in 2025. So you know, I probably really also like keep up major notes about these things coming out either. Mostly because, you know, the Gundam game is going to be interesting. That's going to be on Steam, apparently. So it's something I'm going to be, like, able to see. So I just realized my thumb, like, bends forward that way. That must be a tracking thing. Because it's only able to, like, track the thumb in certain angles. Oh, that's weird. Silksong? I'll be honest, I completely forgot Silksong even existed. Because it kind of was like, it's out and it's gone. Yeah, it's Gundam. Oh god, Rogue Orbit, I think it's called. The moment I ended up seeing it, I thought it was another Demon X Machina. Akor, whenever that came out, I almost like messaged you like, "There's another Demon X Machina." Sadly, it was a Gundam. I mean, I say sadly, that's still a good thing, but it's not the point. Yeah, it's Gundam Rogue Orbit, and it looked like a Monster Hunter-ish sort of game because Monster Hunter / Dynasty Warriors from some parts, because you could fight like multiple creatures all at once, but then also it looked like there was going to be big creatures you're going to be constantly fighting, and those big creatures would be like your main things. I don't know if there was suit customization or a gear customization or like build customization, or if it was just like, yeah, one Gundam, one playstyle, that's it. And all it is just really showing off their new graphics engine. Hard to say. I don't know. Sadly, because they also chose to go more like the realistic route rather than the stylistic route, ended up having more greebles on the actual like suit itself. You know, like vents, metal plating connections, bolts, weird just sci-fi parts. Like, I don't know what like else to call it other than just greebles. So certainly something. It's a hyper-realistic type of approach to stuff. Not the worst choice, but I don't know, I feel like whenever you're doing Gundam, you have to keep it more like stylistic because it's way more standout. Also, I feel like most designs, whenever they're actually like stylistic, actually stand out a little bit better. Going super sci-fi real is not really great. Well, I wouldn't even say Armor Core 6. It's just straight up just a Gundam game with Monster Hunter feel. I don't know if it's actually a Monster Hunter like, because the only reason why I'm like on it is I have a gut feeling this is going to be them revisiting the Iron-Blooded Orphans. Oh my god, and I have the thing up and everything too, and I'm trying to track it. Okay, there we go. I have a feeling that it's going to be more akin to like Iron-Blooded Orphans, because the design aspect and ratios was yeah, I do have thingies. Me when I get you. But Gundam Rogue Orbit feels more like it's more just revisiting the Iron-Blooded Orphans, at least ideas, being where the mobile suits are meant to be more knightly type of characters, and then you have mobile armors, which are like autonomous beasts. So I have a feeling that they're going to keep referring to like the big monsters as armored or mobile armors. Because I don't know, because it's meant to be a mysterious new enemy, and well, Gundams typically are always made whenever there's a new mysterious enemy that you have to deal with. So, also, hi Solstice, sorry, I didn't really give you like a proper greeting. I just supposed to kind of like threatened to choke you and then moved on. Yeah, I'm currently talking about the Gundam Rogue Orbit stuff and like my own like ideas on what I think they're probably going to be doing, and also certain parts I don't like. But yes, Gundam Rogue Orbit, which in the YouTube channel said that they think it looks like a mix of Armored Core 6 and Monster Hunter. I'm saying that, you know, probably not wrong, but also, I feel like it's going to be just more a revisit to like the Iron-Blooded Orphans mythos, and just the gameplay itself will be more, well, action game. Honestly, that's fair. It has genuinely felt like a very, very like hot minute since there was a good, solid Gundam game. Like, I enjoyed Gundam Breakers 4 whenever it came out. Was it New Breakers? No, it was 4. Whenever it came out in Steam. Like, I enjoyed that. But also, I didn't really play a lot many Gundam games. Or at least active Gundam games, I should probably rephrase that as. Because I have played some of the turn-based ones. And, you know, again, I thought they were pretty good. No, that's fair. I can kind of see it. But the only reason why I'm like, not so, like, looking at the AC game is that Gundams were meant to always move humanoid. Like, for all intents and purposes, Gundams were just big people. Like, if we've seen any of the shows, some of the poses and, like, even, like, is it Gundam GH? No, it's whatever the martial arts one was. They basically, the Gundams were just people. And they were just big suits of armor. Sorry, I was trying to check my hands because I'm holding a cup right now. Fucking finish off that bitch. But I feel like it's gonna be... Well, I mean, it's gonna be interesting and something I'm gonna be keeping my eyes out for. If it's not super obvious, I do actually enjoy quite a bit of like mech Gundam games, so it's something to be interested in. Whether or not I'll draw anything for it, I don't know, because I'm currently waiting for Phantom Blade Zero, because apparently it's coming out in October, and I just now remembered the drawing idea that I was going to do for it, and I need to do it. Your ever-growing backlog? Like on Steam? Oh, you meant with the AC6 detailing. I see what you meant, which, yeah, no, 100%. It definitely has like the AC6 detailing of just extra crinkles to, you know, add detail and everything, which, again, not a bad thing, but... Oh, no, I did see your Gundam kits. I did see your Gundam kits backlog, yeah. I'm tempted to send you the picture of my backlog. Mind you, that backlog has been sitting there for about, like, 2 years. Actually, it might be 3 now, actually. I don't have any pictures right now. I could go get one, but then you're going to be just staring at me, just kind of, like, staring into the horizon very fondly. But I'm going back to Phantom Blade Zero specifically. I'm excited for that because I'm a big fan of Wuxia and Xianxia, because I love that type of stylistic detail with like the approach to it. Wulong, it's more, how to explain it? It's not so much fantasy based. Well, it's still fantasy, but it's not like we're going over the top. Hi, Imran, welcome back. No, it is Wulong, because they put out a second one for the second trailer, where it's too long. Like Wings of Redemption or something like that. Well, we're currently, I'm talking about the previous announcements for a lot of games and stuff. I've already gone through like the different things I did for the art, and also like looking back at the week with my own model and everything. But the rest of the MGSD kits, I mean, isn't that like a dream for everyone? Personally, I just want like the mental effort of just being able to just sit down and build the goddamn kits. I don't actually have much room, that's why I can't stop building them. That's why I have a backlog in the first place. But yeah, we're just talking about all the recent games that came out, or at least are announced. You know, Gundam Rogue Orbit, Too Long. I'm gonna keep calling it Too Long. You know, Lords of Fallen 2. I'm very like on that, only because the dev has been like an absolute shit can for like the last however long about stuff. I have a feeling the game will play fine, be fine, but you know, it's just like, ugh, do I want to reward that type of behavior, really? So, you know. But yeah, Gundam Orbit, Final Blade Zero, the new DLC for Wilds, which I can't play because Wilds is way too advanced for my computer. The Persona 6 trailer, which was just very grave. What else? There was another night game. It's not Strongholds. I forgot what it's called. It's something medieval. We can have your own like customizable knight commander thing, and I kind of even think like that's just Mount and Blade. I kind of hope the modding scene for that's going to be like a relatively easy one, because I'd love to put myself on the back of a horse or in combat. That'd be really funny. Also talked about the point of the schedule thing, which, to simplify, I'll have short and long days. It'll be going through a 2-week rota, where one day will be a short day where I play like, oh pardon me, for example like Tainted Grail or something. And then long days will be something where I play like RimWorld. You know, genuinely games where not a lot happen, and realistically you have to play for a few hours to actually get anything meatful to really happen. Whereas, you know, shorter games, you can get in, play, stuff will just happen. So that's how I'm going to be approaching it. And I'm going to make my schedule like a 2-week thing. And also I'm going to have to like actually like start reaching out to people as well. Not just in the art side, but like in general for like collabs and stuff, which is, it's a little scary. Personally, I'm looking for like actual events that are happening to make it a little bit easier to kind of like put myself into the sphere of influence, I guess is probably the best way to put it. The downside is probably all the games that they'll be end up doing, unless they're Minecraft, will be a lot more advanced games, like GTA 5 and everything. And GTA 5 is not the most friendly game towards most computers. It's kind of badly optimized. Based on the things I was looking at it. I think... yeah, I do think. I can't think... What else was that goddamn game called? I don't remember. Shit. Well, either way, at least in regards to like Phantom Blade Zero, I am going to be drawing something for that, because again, it's my type of game that I actually quite enjoy. If it's not super obvious, I have played Tales from Mortal. Of Steam, at least, games I haven't streamed, I have played Amazing Cultivation Simulator. There was another game whose name I forgot, but it wasn't that good, so I didn't play more. Well, RimWorld, ironically, is basically a cultivation game right now, based on the way I've modded it. So I'm going to end up having to figure out how to draw, like, me, but rolled up. Not really sure how to explain it. But I'm intending trying to draw something for that, but I should probably be working on that right now. Well, maybe not right now, but over the next however many weeks until the game comes out. That way it's like ready to go. I don't have to think about it. Oh, I still haven't made any progress on the Discord server. I'll be upfront. I have made no progress on that. I've been kind of dumb and kind of like staring at it and going like, I'll do that later. Also didn't make any progress in like actually like applying for affiliate or anything. I probably should. But again, I say I should, but then I'm like, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have that, and so I don't do it. So, call me a little stupid. Oh, actually, call me a lot stupid, honestly, that I really should just do it. Actually, no, I'm not doing it right now. But at the very least, over the next few weeks, I'll be kind of like expanding myself out to fit things. to, do the things I want to do. Realistically, I'm gonna have to just sit down and just get the server at least ready for people to come in and just existing. Because I've always been told that realistically to have like the same community people come in and be like, hi, you kind of need a server so that everyone gets pinged that you're streaming and everything. Even though for most servers I'm in, I tend to just mute everything. And I just mostly just treat it as a place where I can just hang out in. It's just how it be sometimes. I do also want to ponder out another RimWorld playthrough where those who are named in the current playthrough of the mini mechs, or well, I guess I could maybe just do names in general, but I make y'all in RimWorld and I make y'all try to survive. We'll see them. Getting that kind of set up, that actually is a skill set, because the channel I watch for most of my RimWorld playthroughs, mostly inspirations, admittedly, but also mod packs, is a channel called Mr. Sandwich Streamer. Some of you may or may not have known him. He's currently in the middle of a Star Trek inspired playthrough called Craftasm, and while I am personally enjoying it, I saw like a few mods that those actually add to the story. It's not just, oh, you have to kind of make up the story in your head. It's like, no, this is like actual development, which is really cool. He does like a lot of custom work, like a lot. One of my favorite series that he did was RimWorld Imposter, and it was around where Anomaly came out, the DLC on Anomaly. And again, it one of my favorites because of just the idea behind it. Downside, as it goes on down the actual series itself, he ends up making a lot of changes to be more enjoyable to watch. And I'll be honest, it kind of gets rid of a lot of the initial challenges and everything. Which honestly, that's why I make most of my playthroughs not have that annoying challenge, because sure, I could be playing RimWorld and struggling through with all that stuff all the goddamn time, but then we'll end up making fuck all actual making progress. And I already don't make progress in the first place. It takes me a good 2-3 streams to properly get through and actually make any meaningful progress. So all those changes end up being kind of necessary, but it's also why'd you not do them in the first place? But I suppose it's mostly he wants to deliver a theme and a feel to the overall thing. It's just that theme and feel get in the way of actually playing the goddamn game. But we'll see. I also kind of want to figure out a bunch of mods that are actually well optimized and everything, because losing TPS is not great. Especially since I feel because of the way I play the game, it's really TPS heavy. Because realistically, I probably should get rid of a lot of the stuff I have in the colony and delete them, because they're probably eating up TPS and everything. A lot of the bugs, a lot of the dragons. I'm probably going to end up keeping the max because they actually do work. But the bugs and everything else just kind of don't. They're just going to sit there and eat up food. I might get rid of most of the bugs. Downside, I can get rid of most of them except for the one that's bonded. That should be fine, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm also currently saving up because I don't know if y'all have seen the news on the GameCube. Yes, I call it the GameCube, but that's because the name is way more memorable than what it's actually called. I think it's the Steam Machine or something. But that is something I'm going to be saving up for, because if it does come out over the next, I don't know, month or two, I think I'll have enough to be able to buy it. But I'm kind of hoping it comes out in 2 months, just to offer me a little bit more of a breathing room. Because then I could get that. It'll be nice, small and compact type of deal, and I'll be able to offload the gaming, like, well, the games just outright onto that, and then I don't have to worry about like the stress of streaming, the model, gaming, and anything else I may be running at the time when I'm doing these streams. So it means that I can like actually play a bit more intensive games and be completely fine. Downside, it's a Linux machine, so I have no idea how to work Linux stuff. So that's going to be a journey. It could be worthwhile looking into anyway, at least. Because I know also one other thing I wanted to do was play more intense games, but again, PC and everything, something I'm kind of avoiding. Sorry, no, it all just popped on the right hand. The index and middle fingers and the thumb have been pretty bad the last while, so I'm constantly like worried about them because it's not fun. They're constantly hurting, which is, it makes drawing a little bit more difficult than normal. Oh, sorry. But yeah, there's a lot of things to worry about and do stuff now. Because I'm currently looking at Steam right now and seeing like what is announced and shown. I don't know, it feels like there really isn't too many things that are like worthwhile. Like, I saw that the Gothic 1 remake came out, which is good, but also not. I don't know if I actually would enjoy that. Hard to say. Maybe I will, but also it's kind of expensive. I'll be honest. I'm not about to play a game that I'm like, I don't know, on. Costing $40. Fable, please come out. Like, there's no reason for you to like be delaying this. Just release. Like, there's no reason for you to delay this. Just come out. Why is there combat music? Oh. I've unironically trained myself to wonder why there's combat music. And it's like, I'm not even playing RimWorld. Good lord. What's wrong with me? You would think I'd be a little bit better about that. Oh, I'm tempted to also revisit Signalis at some point. Especially again, like, I think we talked about it last week, where I'd want to revisit all the games I've played over the last however many years, and like just play them with like the model and everything. Really, just to have also like an updated like playthrough, I guess. That makes sense. Oh no, you've all turned evil. I'm sorry. Come here. Yeah, I've already played Signalis once before in the past, but I didn't have the PNG, I think. I didn't have the PNG. So that was just a voice playthrough. At least I'm pretty sure. But I want to like kind of like revisit it purely because of just, oh, hey, it's it's been a bit. Why not? I think it's been at least like 2, maybe 3 years, give or take. I'm not too sure. I could probably check actually. Doesn't really take much to check rather than being constantly guessing. Let's see. Because I also want to revisit like Armored Core 6 and everything. I would be tempted to revisit Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, because it's not out on PC, but also I feel like I should maybe not played on PC and just played on Switch. I'm not sure on that though. I did play Demon X Machina, the first one, but I won't be revisiting that. Yeah, it was Signalis and it was 2 years ago. That's the first time I started playing it. We'll see. I also want to, I think I've already talked about this before, but I do want to try and figure out how to mod myself into Elden Ring and replay Elden Ring. But I don't know if I actually will. The only reason being is that, yeah, at this point in time, for me at least, I've kind of really accepted that I just don't super enjoy Elden Ring. And the only reason why I'd still be playing it in general is just because other people do. And I feel like I wouldn't super be a good experience because I'd just be mostly bitching about the way combat ends up being like in the later half of the game. I'm sure people might say, oh, it's a skill gap or whatever, but I don't know, it feels like y'all forgot like how Dark Souls 1 was like, and how that if you didn't have experience on it, it was a hard game, but once you got experience, it became a pretty easy game. But Elden Ring just kind of just never became fun in the first place. I don't know how to explain it. But end point being is that I don't super enjoy Elden Ring. Night Rain's pretty fun, but I think it's also because I do enjoy my roguelites. But even then, Night Rain is as much of a roguelite as it is a Souls-like, which is to say, it barely touches on like the idea of like what a roguelite is. It's got the most basic of approaches towards it. Which I get, again, it's the experiment, it's to test out stuff, it's to make sure that the next game that they make comes out even better, or at least more towards like the finalized vision and everything. Because again, like Elden Ring has the classic thing, like because it's a roguelite, you get better the more you play, because then you get more information, you get more like knowledge of like how stuff comes and is and everything, and realistically, to get good at it, you have to play it a lot. Like I think well, mine has been carried by Akora and Hyrie the few times we have played it. I think I've only ever realistically beaten the first boss, not on my own, but like through significant effort. Because technically I had beat it on my own before, but I'm talking more like in a team group. Like I feel like everyone pulls their weight, or at least ideally would. But in my case, I definitely didn't feel like I pulled my weight. I feel like I was just like dead weight most of the time. I still haven't beat the DLC stuff. I still can't get through that. Those bosses still have beaten me every single time I've even like attempted to like learn them. Well, that boss, because I'm talking about the balancers, because I can't even get to the second one without beating them. So something to learn. But realistically, I don't know. I might just uninstall Night Ring at this point. I'm just not super enjoying it. Well, not super enjoying it, but like, I don't see myself ever really beating it much further than that. But we'll see. We'll see. Because honestly, the biggest thing in the back of my head is like constantly wanting to go back to fucking Tainted Grail. Because like they put out a challenge DLC thing, and I want to see what that's all about. But also it goes into New Game Plus 3, so that'd be a long play. So that'll be fun to try out at some point. I might try it this week actually. Yeah, fuck it, might as well. I mean, what else am I gonna do? RimWorld? Yeah, I'll probably end up doing RimWorld. I have considered looking into and getting Crimson Desert 2 and figuring out how to get mod myself and stuff like that. But that's also very expensive. I'm curious if Fable will have a modding scene at the very beginning. Because if it does, bet your fucking sweet baby, I'm putting myself in the game. And if it doesn't, plus I also do for just play other games. I can't keep playing the same like 4 games just because they're comfort games. But there's so many like, and I say this disrespectfully, slop games nowadays that are meant to be played with your friends, which that's great and all, but I actually like games having a bit more meat to them rather than just you're basically playing roguelike runs, but you don't get to, like, any carryover or anything. Like Crab Champs, you don't get any carryover in that except for like your individual gear and everything. But that's actually a fun game. And like, no disrespect to Peak. If it's a good game, it's a good game. A lot of people love it and everything. I fucking hate it. I do not like Peak because I'm very bad at climbing. Gravity is my worst enemy. But again, that's also because of, like, you know, it's a game that you play a lot, you kind of learn how to play it and everything, and you get good at it, and you kind of keep playing it. But then at that point, it's not a friend stop game, it's a game you've turned into a sweat game, so the fun kind of just immediately evaporates. But anytime I played Peak, I pretty much died instantly within like the first 20 minutes of a level starting. So, I don't even get me started on the one time where I was playing with, I think it was Irene, like her community. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th level we got to. First thing I did was fall off a cliff and die. Haven't lived that moment down since. Just really haven't. But you know what? It's fine. Not every game's gonna be for me. I just wish people would play other games instead. Wait, has that been updated at all? Hold on. Because I was thinking about other things I'd actually like to do that would be a little bit different. There was a game. No, not a game. A mod that I was interested in regards to Seven Days to Die. But it looks like the mod's nowhere near even updated, and he keeps doing the soon update, where it's going to be updated soon, and then you'll be able to get to play it soon. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it was called, the specific mod was 7 Days to Die, Undead Legacy. It's actually very, very good, or at least a good envisioning of what vanilla 7 Days to Die should have been. The downside is it doesn't really, the main difficulty is, well, for lack of a term, the mod maker could be a little bit more forward with what they're actually doing rather than listen to their unique situation that they're in regards to their Discord. I'm not going to speak much more on that. If you're interested in it and you know about it, you know about it. So we'll see. Pardon me. I'm replying to someone on Discord right now. There's a few other ideas I've been wanting to do as well. I want to go back to trying like just study my art and everything again. Where I want to draw the many OCs I have, just at the head. Partly to cut down on the overall amount of work I actually have to do in regards to like drawing, but also to like have a collective list of like what everyone's head looks like, and like the accoutrement on the respective heads and everything. Plus it would allow me to kind of like practice a little bit of styling on regards to that. The main difficulty being is that it's been a hot minute since I last did anything committed like that. I'm also kind of sitting here thinking, like, should I include another slideshow where I include my own work? Like, it's just literally the stuff I've drawn and or have finished within a certain degree, and it's just also like on the screen somewhere. Like, it's not going to be up there because that's where the stuff I actually want to be proudly shown. Maybe I can have it like down here below where chat is. Wait, there we go. But keep it like extra small because like it's my own work. I do want to show it off, but also like I know it's not going to be always the best. So it's like, you know, it's down there. It's, you know, kind of shoved out of the corner. It's fine. It should be okay at least. I think. We'll see. But either way. Yeah, to see where most of my artwork is, generally you'd have to go onto Twitter or the Blue Sky. If you go to the Twitch, I know, weird thing to ask. I have it linked both in there for the Blue Sky and the Twitch. I think the Blue Sky is probably more consistent for just straight up seeing the art pieces I've done. Twitch, I kind of have been a little bit shitposty as a reason, so I don't really have much artwork up there or anything. But alternatively, you know, if and whenever I get the Discord made, obviously you can join that, and then that should allow you to probably see the art channel where like, okay, this is probably where I'm going to post all the work I actually care about, and not like the work in progress or anything. Most of my work in progress is just end up being like line work practice, and then I end up overcommitting to it, and then I end up spending way more longer than I should have on it. I mean, it looks good. You know, I'm not gonna fucking complain with that, but like, I need to practice other things other than just the line work outright. Wait. Oh wait, no, I don't have Nightbot in YouTube. Can I get Nightbot in YouTube? Hold on. That's a weird question. Okay, go to the dashboard. How would I get you integrated? No, that's Discord. How would I get you connected to YouTube? Or YouTube, as many would call it. I'm not sure. Because I could have it post the links in there, which would be nice. Well, at the least, I'll probably end up doing like a maybe have a Let's Slideshow, as I said before, the suggestion for next week, down in the corner, and just it'll be just the work I have done. It will show like all the shit pieces I've done from the very beginning, which I'll be honest, some of them are shit. They're very bad. But, you know, I have them as a example of where I came from and then where I am right now. Because I've kind of given up on like practicing the shading and everything, because I feel like there's only so much shading practice you can actually do without actually understanding how to shade. And I don't know how to shade or texture. At most I'm doing like flat work right now, partly inspired by Solstice, who was in Twitch chat a while ago, because I like the way he does his shading. Or well, I like the way he does his coloring because it's a good basis of like trying to understand where and how things should look. Actually, that reminds me. Could I? Maybe not right now. I'll think about that. But yeah, probably end up putting in the bottom left corner. Includes all the stuff I've done, probably, if I can remember where some of it is gone. Because that's the hard part. It's like I can remember where some of this stuff is gone. It'll include like the probably many attempts at drawing myself, giving up, and then just kind of being like, and then passing on. Admittedly, there's some canvases where I definitely have drawn myself a few times and I just gave up immediately because, again, the inexperience and everything kind of just kills me. You know, I think like any artist can agree, like if your own inexperience for the idea, even though the idea is amazing and everything, you know, like it beats you up quite a bit. And I know I have a 3D model, so like I exist, and I have been using this model as a reference for like how stuff should look like in certain angles. Because let me tell you, this shoulder here and this shoulder are the fucking worst for trying to figure out what way it's meant to look in certain angles. More often than not, whenever I've drawn this helmet as well, it's just been like mostly the rule of cool, where I've just done whatever I could to make it look cool, but I've never made it look accurate. And yeah, no, like, it is gonna be like that, where we're just gonna end up making a lot of things that are just gonna be never gonna see the light of day, as many would call it. Also, how do I get this up? The elbow of my armor is also a pain in the ass to do, right? Because of just the weirdness of it. And like this model, again, you know, the guy did a great job. It's genuinely perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but like it is so fucking good that I keep calling it perfect. The reason why I don't call things perfect is that realistically humans are flawed, and we're always competing after the perfectionism. So, you know, oh my god. So, you know, it's easier just saying like, okay, things are really fucking good, and are obviously, you know, a large step towards perfectionism. But we're never going to actually ultimately achieve perfectionism, at least in my opinion. We're too flawed. Which is a good thing. It's all you need. But then that'll be me putting up a bunch of like work pieces that I'm not too sure on whether or not they're going to be good or not. You can tell like I genuinely have just tried to just do shit. And maybe at some point I'll try and revisiting the ideas and actually like completing them. Because you can get experience and everything. Ends up helping out quite a bit. But hard to say. Because right now I'm currently trying to design like 3. Whenever my head goes down, it loses track of my head. I'm trying to design. Hold on, I think my calibration's a little bit off too. Hold on. This is me staring at the screen right now, but for some reason it's choosing to look directly up. There we go. At least now, like, I shouldn't be so staring uppy without actually staring up. What's this in? I forgot. Oh, right, no, I remember now. The stuff I have done, obviously, it's gonna look bad. But, you know what? Like, I like it all in the first place because I didn't want to sit down and work. So it's going to be okay and having most stuff out. But the 3 character designs I'm wanting to work on are just, I don't know. It's hard for me to do character design. I don't really have the brain for it. I'm forcing myself to do it so I can actually like learn and improve, or at least try to. Sorry, I'm staring at my model and sitting here thinking like, okay, my chest is like aggressively moving a little bit too much. Why? I think the tracking is a little wonky again. Is that gonna fix it? Okay, that looks like it's fixed it a little bit more. I think maybe, yeah, that's definitely fixed it. It's nowhere near as bad. I could probably also fiddle with the settings because I do want like that little bit of turn to the upper body, but I don't want that jitteriness of like the chest. Like moving up and down. Shouldn't be doing that. So you end up having a sore neck. I will never, let me be upfront with this. I am never going to do drawing streams. I tried to do that way back when. I just ended up talking most of the stream and like sort of like moving my hands around as if I'm like trying to do something because I don't know. The best way to explain it is that I feel like whenever it comes to drawing streams, I log in and I stay quiet. I stay so quiet. And just for me and the person I put forward, I'm like everyone else. I talk. So it'd be kind of weird just to have like a drawing stream and I'm just completely quiet. So I don't think I'll ever do that. Well, not so much I don't think I'll ever do it, it's more like I refuse to do it. Because I know what I'm like. Oh wait, what date is that? Hold on, that's something I just remembered. I'm gonna do a announcement here. If I can find the actual thing. On the 27th? Is it this month or next month? I think it's the 27th. Okay. On the 27th, I'll be a part of a charity event where we'll be raising money for I think they're called Rainbow Railroad. I don't know the specific details or anything, but I'll be, assuming they aren't like overloaded with the amount of mods there. I'll be probably helping out on that front, where the event is basically you would probably donate money to the charity in question, and you end up getting like a piece drawn by one of the many talented artists. More details will probably end up giving out more closer to the actual date itself, but that is a weekend, a Saturday, and that's the days I don't stream normally anyway. And I probably won't stream this event anyway, because I'll probably be more focused on like trying to actually like mod and the like. But I did at least want to like, you know, if anyone is interested in listening right now and then or is aware of this, 27th is when this will happen. I'll probably talk about it on the 26th a little bit more whenever it's closer to the actual date itself. But it is for, you know, a good cause and everything. So we will see when we get closer to it. I just want to talk about it now, so at least, you know, again, there's been a record that I talked about it. I don't super post about that type of stuff on social media, partly because I feel like my tweets don't reach anyone in the first place, so it's like whatever. But I know at least there's at least 2 people here people may or may not know about him. So I think it's a very important thing to talk about, at least. You know, spreading awareness. I actually don't remember where it is, though. I never actually looked into it. I just kind of assumed that the people who are setting up are way more intelligent and smarter than me. Because I only got a pretty voice. So, we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I'll actually be participating this time around, though. It seems like we have a lot of people working on it, so I might even be needed. We'll see. I just realized company was playing again. My brain kind of went into like fight or flight again. God damn it. I need to like maybe go through and change the fight music out and have it be there, because I keep going like, oh. If you didn't see what that was me raising both my shoulders up like a cat on its hackles? You know, whenever a cat does like the whole like arched back thing, you know, that's what I did. Bacon. Why did I say bacon? Anyway. Beep, 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 beep. Let's see. We got another 40 minutes before I'm probably going to raid out in general. There's a rhyme. Okay, we have one choice. Perfect. What are you doing online? I'm meant to be asleep at this point. That person is normally active when they shouldn't be. Hey, Cora, by the way, if you're still here, what? I need to hit you up about a few things in the background off stream. Why am I talking about this now? Never mind, ignore me. I'm just an idiot. I guess I'm just looking for stuff to talk about now, because I've kind of talked about everything I want to talk about. I don't have anything else to really actually like talk about at length. So I'm kind of like, oh, do I revisit topics or do I not? Like, do I do the tactic that I don't like doing? Or do I just kind of raid out and go, peace, and then fade away? It's a bit more hard to say, isn't it? But we'll see. Oh, I should probably say this, probably because it's a thing that I think is a good thing to say. If you're watching this right now, and you do like what I do and what I've been doing, whether it be the streams or just me, not the case really, I've only done the streams, I haven't done any videos or anything yet, give the YouTube channel a subscription, and maybe like the stream as well. And if you're over on Twitch, hit the follow button. And maybe even hit the little notification bell on both sides so that you know whenever I'm streaming. Generally, it's going to be 5 p.m. GMT plus 0. Is that the right time zone? Tells everyone the wrong time zone. Hold on. Is it GMT? Actually, I don't think it is GMT. No, it's +1. also use the UTC, Coordinated Universal Time. That's a term. It's UTC +1. Oh, because we had DLC this time. Enjoy having fun with your schoolwork. Look at this guy being a nerd. And also, goodbye, witch. Have a nice day, and I hope you have a lovely day as well. But I'm gonna be figuring out who to raid out to. Sell. I rate Cell on Twitch. If he's playing Wuthering Waves, I can spell the name right. As they struggle always. It worked. Awesome. Yeah, but if you do enjoy what I'm doing, as always, give the YouTube a subscribe, give the Twitch a follow, like the streams, hit the notification bells, and ensure that they're all unenabled, just so you, oh my god, my hands, just so you can see that when I'm live. And tomorrow we'll be doing RimWorld. Yeah, I know, it's not that big of a surprise, but it's a long day. Then after that on Wednesday, I think it'll be a shorter day, so we'll probably doing Tinted Grill. We'll see. I will have to also maybe work on becoming affiliate and everything else, and also getting the Discord server set up. Tomorrow, if I'm streaming and I have no notifications about that, please, for the love of God, just harass me to do that. I give you full encouragement to do it. Well, until then, I'll see you next time.